Dez Bryant is a stud in this league. He is an elite receiver, and he is climbing the charts. If there is indeed a legitimate challenge to the greatness of Megatron, and I repeat, the greatness of Megatron, it would be Dez Bryant. He's got the speed, he's got the athleticism, he's got the fire inside his belly. He wants it bad, and I wouldn't want him to have any other kind of attitude. I'm proud of what he said. I don't think a word that he uttered was remotely disrespectful to Calvin Johnson or any of the receivers out there. He's just telling you he believes that with his skill sets, when he steps out on the field on a Sunday afternoon, he believes that he's the best. And that's the kind of attitude you have to have if you truly indeed intend to be the best. You got to believe it. Because if you don't believe in you, baby, who else is going to? That's really what it comes down to, Skip. Now, Megatron is Megatron. You look at his physical prowess. You look at the 1,000+ yards receiving in 3 of the last 4 years. I'm sorry, the last 3 seasons, actually, because he's en route to another 1,500+ yard season. This dude is just big time. Even his commercials, big time. Everybody talks about all of this other stuff. I think those commercials with him and P. Diddy as Mr. Johnson are completely underestimated and underappreciated. I love those commercials. It's big time. You need to check it out sometime instead of busy wondering about Aaron Rodgers and discount Dabble check and all of this stuff. That's actually a better commercial than that. That's actually a better commercial. But Megatron is Megatron. We all know he's the best. There's no question about it. Give props to Matt Stafford, who flings those footballs out there to him because he's a pretty damn good quarterback. I'm going to even give some respect to Tony Romo because Dez Bryant wouldn't be what he is if Tony Romo wasn't flinging him the football. So I'm going to give respect where respect is due. But Dez Bryant, you're here. But Megatron is here. You know what I'm saying?
Kinda. Okay,
yes, you do.
Here's my take. My take is I don't have any problem with what Dez Bryant said about Megatron. I just have a problem that he said a word about Megatron, Stephen A. Smith. Dez later tweeted that, and I'm paraphrasing, I guess I have to be careful or watch what I say. Duh, Dez. Yes, you do, because you've been in the middle of it many times before, and your skin can get a little thin, and you can get a little defensive when people fire back at you, as Nate Burleson fired back at you. The problem here is that I wish Dez Bryant would grow up to the point to learn to let his statistics speak, or in this case, scream for him. Because Stephen A., to this point in Dez's progress in his career, he is ahead in nearly every receiver statistical category to what Megatron was at this stage of his career. Let that do your talking. Why do your talking off the field? Even though, again, for him to say, I'm great at what I do, he's great at what he does, okay, that's fine. But it raises issues that you're suggesting that somehow you're better. Do I think Dez is better after the catch, a little more lethal as a runner? Yeah, I do. But show us, don't tell us. Because, Stephen A., you know what's going to happen. On Sunday in Detroit, Dez's psyche will be a little out of whack. He'll be trying a little too hard. He'll be prone to trying to run before he catches, and he'll drop a couple. Then we'll see him go off and throw a sideline tirade, maybe even a tantrum, and it will distract his teammates. And it's all because he gets in the firestorm of something he said, and he can't really handle it. So I wish he would learn to just stay above it all, let the performance speak, because it is speaking volumes so far for Dez Bryant.
First of all, put your paper down when you're talking. We're all interested in seeing that chessboard-looking shirt that you got on. The shirt was blocking it. That's point number one. Point number two.
You must be really threatened by me today. Are you jealous?
No, I'm not jealous. No, I'm not jealous. But number two, okay, maybe, just maybe, Dez Bryant is talking because he wants to bring some attention to himself because Jerry Jones is too busy bringing attention to the Cowboy brand as opposed to an individual stud like himself. Point number three, I don't mind a receiver talking because he has to go out there and back it up. And more importantly, his quarterback has to help him do it by making sure he can fling the football in his direction. What's the matter? You're hesitant or apprehensive about Tony Romo's ability to do that? Because I have no trepidation whatsoever when it comes to Dez Bryant. I'm very, very confident that Dez Bryant, based on his own skill set, his tenacity, his hunger, that want-it mentality, I have no doubt that Dez Bryant could back up every word he's saying. Are you fearful that Tony Romo can't help him? Megatron doesn't say much. That's just his MO. That's just his personality. You have to allow people to be themselves. Dez Bryant, quiet, timid, a bit docile. That's not how he rolls. That doesn't work for him. I don't mind it if you produce. Now, if you're messing up, then you need to shut up. But as long as you're putting up numbers and you're showing up and you're producing, particularly when it's time, I have no issue with you. None.
Have you seen Dez Bryant play a little too over emotionally on occasion?
On occasion. I've also seen Calvin Johnson on occasion. Go ahead, Skip, go ahead.
Okay, this Sunday, I think Dez will play a little out of control early, and I agree with your point about Calvin. He's the ultimate receiver role model. I love him because he's not the basic diva receiver. First class, all class, lets his performance do his talking. Maybe Dez should learn a little bit from Calvin Johnson.